Oh, welcome to day three of the Purpose Challenge. I hope you are been getting value. And if you're just watching this for the first time and you have not watched the Purpose Challenge for day one and day two, I advise that you go back and get to watch them. I shared the link already in the Telegram channel, so you can do well to search for day one and day two before you watch day three, and it has been really amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your comments. Thank you so much for the likes. Thank you for the subscribing to the channel. And thank you for all the amazing things that you do. I'm so delighted. I'm so grateful. I do not take any of this for granted. Thank you so much. And day three, we will be wrapping up the purpose challenge. And I hope you're getting a lot of insight already. You're already being on the lookout on where you can begin to execute your purpose, what you can begin to do, places you can begin to go, who you can talk to, and certain things you can begin to execute in fulfilling and maximizing your purpose. This is just like a reminder. I want you to know and find out that every day time keeps going, and there is something that the scripture says in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1, that for everything there is a time and the purpose, a time to everything, and the purpose to everything under the heaven. So for everything, there's a time and there's a season to every purpose under heaven. And you have only your lifetime to execute the purpose of your living. And you must realize that the time when you have your premium energy is when you should give to your purpose. Just a way of introduction, and we get into the session for today. How far have we gone on this purpose challenge? Number one, we talked about purpose definition, where we created clarity around certain things you needed to look out, why purpose is important, what are the certain dangers of not knowing your purpose in life. We went about talking about purpose discovery pointers, where we talked about pain, passion, people, practices, purchases, and potential. And then we went on talking about how you can begin to execute your purpose fulfillment, the things you need to start with, how you can start right now, and what are the certain habits and certain attributes you need to look out. What are the things you can't do without that you need to work on and ensure you are a better person. And then we also looked at certain purpose platforms that you can begin to leverage on and you can begin to look at. Now, what would you learn today? Three major things. I'll be talking about speaking for impact, writing for impact, and leading for impact. It does not matter what your purpose may be, even if your purpose is directed towards children that are between the ages of 5 and 7. I still tell you, you still need to do something. You have to speak to them. All right. Speaking could be as a result of counseling, as a result of pushing out videos, as a result of doing certain things. You still need to speak. So for people who want to maximize their purpose craft, who wants to do so much in their purpose movement, they need to speak for impact, or write for impact, lead for impact. And for anyone who wants to be in the purpose movement, it's very important. I would counsel that you have these three major competencies and you are able to employ them: the ability to speak, to convince, to persuade, and to ensure people do things to a particular area, to write, and also to lead. Now, I want you to look out for these pictures. I'm definitely sure you would see some faces you can realize. We can see them: Jim Rohn, Martin Luther King Jr., Busi Tempekwaju, Oprah Winfrey. We can see Dale Carnegie, Fela Durotoye, Les Brown, Larry King, John Obidi, Eric Thomas, Lisa Nichols, and Bishop T.D. Jakes. So these are people that definitely you will see, you know them. And when you talk about amazing speaker, those who have spoken to change lives, to change the narrative, who have spoken their way into wealth, into accomplishment, into making impact, into changing the world. For example, Oprah Winfrey was an OAP. From then she had her own show, and she has had the ability to interview great and amazing people across the world. Martin Luther King Jr. who led a revolution movement whereby people he pushed a movement and led a group amidst just to ensure that they were able to overcome racism in America at that particular time. And he was the one who spoke on the statement, I have a dream. So when you hear, I have a dream that one day this nation would rise and the sons and daughter of a black person would interact with those of the white, just to paraphrase, that was Martin Luther King. He spoke and inspired people, and people were convinced to be able to go in an area, okay, to follow a certain course of purpose. Your purpose will require you to speak to people. You will need to get to a point where you need to get support, where you need to get those who would help you, those who would believe in you, to even lead a team, to even get people to work with you, you would need to speak. And all of those people you can see right here have spoken to change lives, to change narratives, to turn lives around. For example, Eric Thomas he used to be a school dropout, and then he got to a point where he had the privilege to speak in college, and people saw so much the things he could do, and he had one of his friends called CJ that they partnered together. And today, Eric Thomas, that is as of 2022, February 2022, Eric Thomas is ascribed as the number one motivational speaker in the world. So you would know about Larry King. Larry King interviewed some of the top people in entertainment, in politics, in leadership, in business, in the finance and economy, and he interviewed over thousands of people before he died. All right. You can know of John Obidi. John Obidi is the founder of Head Start Africa. All right. Head Africa trying to bring together Africa and point to them the right thought mindset so that they could change narrative and make impact in their respective field. And he's doing amazing things. Fela Toye, the CEO and founder of Gemstone, and an amazing leader. At a point, he was an aspirant for the presidential office in Nigeria. Pussy Tembekwai is an entrepreneur. These are amazing people. Like if you just check up their stories, Jim Moore is an amazing teacher, amazing. Like I listen to him, he inspires me a lot. Even though he's dead now, but I'm still blessed by his resources. So these are people who have changed the world, who have changed narrative. You know, Bishop T.D. Jakes, who changed the mindset of people who came as a black American, and he has one of the biggest churches in Dallas in America. So that's amazing. That's just so much of how people who have been able to speak have changed the world. So you can also build this competence and speak to really impact your world. Now, what are the major things that can help you? What are the major things you need when you need to speak to impact? Okay, you must be willing to focus on training, focus on practice, and focus on interactions. All right. There's no great speaker who did not do it by any of these three things. They either train to become a great speaker, they practice their way through to becoming a great speaker, and they actually did well by interacting with people, and they built their consciousness by doing these things. For example, Dale Carnegie is the author of the fast and effective, the easy and effective way of public speaking. All right, he has a book. I have that book. I've read that book. Very amazing book. And he's also the author of How to Win Friends and Influence People. So he taught about things on going for trainings. And there's a Dale Carnegie course on public speaking, which you may choose to go for, or you can take certification in public speaking. For example, I took a public speaking and communication training masterclass in 2020, and it was so amazing. It opened my mind, and some of the things you see I do today, the ability to speak confidently, to be better at communicating my thoughts, happened to training. Secondly, practice. All right, you look for platforms that gives you the ability to practice. I remember John Obidi shared at a point that what he did when he relocated to Lagos from Benin was going on Eventbrite and searching for events, free events, and reaching out to the conveners, the organizers of that event, that he was willing to speak for a chunk of their time if they could give him the privilege to preach for free. So he had access to platforms, a practice, and he was able to grow his visibility. So you may also choose to do the same. You may even start by accepting free gigs, By speaking there, from the reactions you build, you develop, and then you keep growing through that means. And also through your interaction with people daily, when you meet people, do you try to communicate areas around your purpose with them? Like people come to you with certain problems. How do you speak to them in the point that they are convinced, they are delighted, they are so happy, and they are willing to listen to you? Now, what are certain tips and certain principles that would get to help you to be great at speaking? All right, not just good, not just amazing, but to be great at speaking, to be memorable, to be exceptional in a form where people will get to remember you even when you are gone. All right, even at the end of that program, number one, you must learn to be a good listener. All right, you must learn to be a good listener. Listening to podcasts when you are missed conversation in a meeting, but very good at listening to people. When you are sitting down to watch a video, but very attentive to listen. So when you listen and practice, you try to see how people gesticulate, how people that you look up to, you look at how they pass their message, how they begin, how they end, how they create a flow, how they connect from one point to the other, you will end up being a good speaker. All right. That's why if you want to be very good at speaking, you need to subscribe to a lot of amazing podcasts. For example, you can check out my podcast on Apple Podcast, on Google, on Spotify. Growth Secrets with Abiodun Mustapha. All right, I have amazing content on that podcast. So you should listen to podcasts. You should be able to get a lot of amazing things from podcasts, and it would help you to also build a variety and depth of knowledge. Number two, you must be willing to read wide and deep. All right, you can't afford to be a speaker that is so limited in knowledge. You must be willing to read. You read every day, you read wide, you read deep, you consult resources, and then you have a bank of knowledge such that when conversations happen in that area, you can give viewpoints, you can speak, and people are silent to listen to you. They are convinced about what you're saying. All right, and they are delighted, all right, to listen to the things you're saying. Number three is put your audience first. So whenever you have the ability to speak to people, don't think first about yourself, think about your audience. All right, always think about your audience. How do I begin this conversation in a form that my audience will be grabbed and they'll be hooked to want to listen again? What are certain points that they can relate to? If you look at scripture, for example, Jesus always used instances and parables. Parables are like metaphors that the people in those particular instances can relate to it. For example, the parable of the fig tree. For example, the parable of the wise virgins and the foolish virgins. You made use of things that they could relate to it. All right. The kingdom of God is like you would say the kingdom of God is like a man, all right, who had a vineyard, and in that vineyard wheat started corn started growing amidst wheat. All right, he utilized things that he could relate with. Why? Because those people were farmers. So you must be willing to put your audience first. Okay, number four is to prepare. Now, if you find out that you are usually nervous when you want to preach, like when you want to speak, all right, and when you want to have a conversation, like when you stand on stage, you usually have stage fright. I want you to know that straight stage fright is good. All right. I still get a measure of stage fright in the initial minutes of my speaking. Okay. But because I've mastered things over time, I need the techniques to put in place to overcome it. But it still happens every time. If you meet any exceptional speaker, they will tell you that they still have fright once in a while. But the good thing about that fright, like I learned in my public speaking and communication master classes, that it enables you to prepare. It's a good thing. So it enables you to prepare. You prepare so well, you prepare so amazingly, you put so much effort in ensuring that you're doing so well at preparation. So you should understand that the straight flight is really, really good for you. Number five, make use of outlines. Okay, so how do you structure your conversation? Have an introduction where you hook people. The introduction could be like a story, could be like a quote, could be like a metaphor, could be like a parable. All right, and then you now begin to outline lessons one, two, three, four, and then you go to your conclusion. All right, somebody says that what do you have to do? You tell the people that you want to tell them, okay, you tell them what you want to tell them, then you tell them and tell them you just told them. All right. So when you take trainings, you'll be taught all of these things. Like you tell them what you want to tell them. You tell them, okay, and then you tell them you just told them. It's as simple as that. Now, number six is to be yourself. As much as you may listen to people, you love how they speak, you anticipate, like you are so delighted, you love the way they challenge you, they motivate you, they inspire you, and you just love the way they talk. You must realize that the joy is in being yourself. You must be yourself. You must be original. People don't want to say, oh, this person speaks like, they want to know that you speak like yourself. You speak like you. All right. You must be willing to be yourself. All right. As long as you draw inspiration from others, and then you want to get there's something called a personality incarnation. You must ensure that you don't lose yourself, because your uniqueness will still be vital. Now, if you listen to every of these speakers I have right here, every one of them are amazing speakers, but there's none of them that speak like the other. There's none of them that speak like the other. Okay, I've listened to a couple of them. Yeah, I've listened to them. I've read the book of Dale Carnegie, even though I've not listened to his message before. But the others, I've gotten to listen to them. Jim Rohn, Bosi Tembekwai, Oprah Winfrey, Fela Toye. I've listened to Martin Luther King Jr., Les Brown, Larry King, John Obidi, Eric Thomas, Lisa Nichols, and Bishop T.G. Takes. I've listened to them. There's a uniqueness in them, and that's why they become relevant over time. Okay. Now, the next one you can find there is to tell stories. Stories, people relate to stories, most especially when you get to speak to Africans. Okay, I'm using Africa for example. Why? Because the origin of Africa is actually built on stories. That's why things like Tales by Moonlight actually sold so much. And people relate to stories. People want you to bring them into an experience as though they are there. So while you're speaking and sharing stories, you are trying to play the movie, okay, and people begin to see themselves in between that movie, and then at the end of the day they feel what you're saying. All right, lastly, what you have to do to be a great speaker, you must show your talk. You must show your talk. All right, people want to see you express it, they want to see you gesticulate it. Okay, you hit people more, people are moved more when you express your thoughts. It's not just in the things that you say, but how you say what you say. It's not just in what you say, but how you say what you say. Look at this, for example, when somebody say, somebody say, and somebody say, you can see there are two different things. Okay, even though the word that is being used is, but the way it's being said is different. Eh, and what? You understand? So there are two different things. So you must be willing to show your talk. All right. Did you get that? Please, if you get that, go to the comment section and say, I got value, I got value, I've got value. Let me see you say, wow, 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 wow. Yes, 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 yes. Awesome. Now, I want you to look at this. If you look at any of this book, you must have read or heard of one or two of this book. John Maxwell, Napoleon Hill, Tony Robbins, Miles Moron, Simon Sinek, Start with Why, Requiring the Purpose-Driven Life, Understanding Your Identity by Abiodun Mustapha, 30 Lessons Life Taught Me Before 30, that's my book. Now, these are people who wrote their books, and you need to realize that there are a lot, thousands, if not millions, there are millions of books that have been published. And you must realize that if you really want to impact the world, beyond just speaking, you must be willing to put your skill into writing, at least publishing a book. I remembered a dear mentor, Prince Joshua Yini, that's the founder of the Ambario Global, who actually told me in a one-on-one conversation that the only way to become an authority is when you are an author. Okay, you see, in that area of your purpose, the only way to become an authority is when you are an author. And don't get it wrong. There are a lot of people who write books who don't write the books themselves. Okay. So even if there are a lot of things around it, but it's not for this conversation right now. So you can write a book. You can write a book in that area. You are interested in solving relationship problems. You can write a book in that area. For example, I wrote Understanding Your Identity after I took a training session, and I converted that training into a book. And I saw a lot of people dealing with inferiority complex, identity distortion. Okay, and then I decided to write a book. Okay, you can write a book and give it out for free just to grow your visibility. Okay, and you can also write a book for profit. You can monetize some of this skill. You can monetize your speaking. You can monetize your writing. You write a book. You can choose to write a book, publish it on Amazon. Okay, what are you doing? You are impacting the world. You are changing lives. And people are always willing to reciprocate value. Most people are always willing to reciprocate value. People are changing the world through books. Okay, right now there's an ideology in your head right now that you got to know it because someone wrote a book. The thing you knew in your physics, in your history, in your law, in your literature, in accounting, you knew them because someone wrote a book. Okay, so you should write a book to also impact and to change lives. Now, what should you always take note when you want to write to impact? Number one, be willing to write daily. But willing to write daily. You should have a journal. You should have a journal. Have a journal. Have a content journal. Have a content journal. Like you can see, we can see this in my hand. Have a content journal. All right. A lot of the things that you see in me, how these slides came in, some of them are ideas that have been written, that have been journaled. You write every day, every day. Write your lessons every day. Write your experiences every day. Write your inspirations every day. At some point, you can begin to merge them together and they can become a product. Number two, you read daily. The only way to be an amazing author, to be an amazing writer, is to read daily. All right. John Obidi calls it the ability to rinse your mind. When you want to rinse your mind. Why? Because your mind becomes encumbered by many things, by the activities. But when you want to rinse your mind and you want to build your mind into depth of value, what do you have to do? You read daily. Number three, you meditate daily. Meditation is where you begin to enforce, you begin to put pressure on the ideas and on real things in your mind. So when you meditate, it gives you a broad spectrum of little ideas you've gathered. Okay, whether things you've read or things you've written down. So meditation gives you value. Meditation is like digesting the things you have gotten. And it's only the food that is digested, okay, that is nourishable to the body. So you take time to meditate, you take time meditating. What's the next thing? You must always have your audience in mind. When you write, you don't think about you, you think about your audience. So when you go on various platforms, you go on social media and you want to share a post, think of your audience. So what's the first thing I can say that can make them want to keep reading? The first sentence. All right. What's the next sentence that can make them continue? You write that down. Okay. So you always have your audience in mind. When you write a book, if you don't want to, don't just say, oh, this is a fantastic book because I love it. You have your audience in mind. Okay. Number five, your story is powerful. Most times you should share your experience. That's why pain is important. Passion is important. You share the stories of how you moved from pain, all right, to progress. From pain to progress. Okay, you share your story. So, for example, someone like me, when I was young, when I was still a teenager, when I was still a teenager, I've not come into light, and I didn't have the privilege for a lot of people to be inspirations to me when I was younger. Okay, there was a point I felt really intimidated, and I picked up a knife and I pointed to my belly and I wanted to bust my belly and kill myself. Why? Because I felt I was not loved, I was not appreciated. I felt I was not so I was not meant for this world. I wanted to commit suicide. Okay, but when I came into the reality of purpose, I realized that the reason why I wanted to take my life was because I really did not see a meaning to life. So you must understand that the ability to share your stories. And when I share these stories, a lot of people relate to them. They're like, ah, wow, I never knew that about you. I never felt this. I share my depression story. Okay, I shared that I think on the one I shared it. Depression story, how I became really depressed. Every day I was thinking about every other person. Why? Because purpose was not so centered to me. So you see, people can relate to your stories. And when you write in a form that people can relate with, they love to listen to you. They love to be loyal to you. Why? Because they have seen someone who is an example of where they are, and then they see their future in you. And then lastly, you will see start where you are. Always start where you are. Start where you are. Start where you are by writing. You can start writing on social media, start writing on your Facebook, start writing on LinkedIn. At a point, all of those ideas may connect, and then you begin to extract them, you compile them together into a book, and then you can sell them or you choose to give it out for free. Okay, so you can start where you are. Don't say, oh, someday I want to become Amazon best-selling author. Have that as a vision. But right now, at the level that you are, what can you do? Okay, you start where you are. Okay, now what are platforms to begin with? Number one is your Facebook profile. Make sure you share a post every day in that area of your passion, in that area of your purpose. Those are part of the things I did. You share post every day. Every day you post something. You post something, inspirational post, you're excellent about it. Make sure the grammar is good. Remember, I talked about competence and capacity. Don't share posts like the random area boys on social media. Number two, Facebook groups. There are Facebook groups that are interested in the things you're saying. For instance, I have a Facebook group called Growth Community. Okay, I have a Facebook group called Growth Community. You can just search it out. Growth Community with Abiodun Mustapha. You can see this. Growth Community with Abiodun Mustapha. Yes, you go there, share your posts. We do not intimidate people. We do not body shame people. We encourage people to be good at their content creation. And a lot of people are doing that. A lot of people are being delighted, seeing people love their posts, getting people read their posts. So Facebook groups, all right, there are a lot of amazing Facebook groups you can join. Number three, LinkedIn. Yeah, professionals are there. There are people who may get to invite you when they see your post. Wow, this guy is talking about this. But when you're consistent, they may monitor you for a while. They may not talk. They'll just monitor you for a while and say, this guy has been consistent. Let's reach out to him. All right. Recently, a lawyer friend was speaking to me on how he was getting contacts, he was getting referrals just because he was able to optimize using content on LinkedIn. Number four, WhatsApp status. WhatsApp status. I see people come to me and tell me a lot that, wow, the WhatsApp status have been amazing. The content you shared there, I'm so blessed by it. Like they open up my mind. They help me do this. Why? Because I share content on WhatsApp status. Okay? Not just funny things. Leave all the people who have not found their purpose to be posting things that do not make sense. You, but deliberate about the things you share there, and people will take notice of you. Your WhatsApp status is a platform you can use. All right. Number five, your mailing list. I also have a mailing list. For example, if you have downloaded the free copy of my book, Purpose Clarity Blueprint, you would have gotten an automated mail. Okay. From um time after time, you would see how you begin to get mails from me. Okay, that's a place to start. If you feel Facebook, maybe you are intimidated and all of that, yes, you might start with Facebook. Why? Because Facebook is a marketplace where many people come to. That one comes, this one comes, that one comes, this one does all of that. Okay, Facebook is that kind of platform, but you may begin to bring people to your own platform. That's what a mailing list does. A mailing list, we have a number of them. We have MailChimp, we have ConvertKit, we have SendForks, we have Sendy, we have eWeber. There are a lot of them. We have a mailer list. Okay, you can make use of all of that. You can begin to send mails to people. All right, but to get a lot of traction into it, you will need a lead magnet, something called a lead magnet. So a lead magnet, like you're offering people a free ebook, just like you have seen what I did. So you can offer people a free ebook in exchange for their emails and their first name. Okay, so by automatically people can get that book. You see why writing is important, and then you can begin to share amazing contents with them via your mailing list. We have people like Seth Godin that does this. A lot of thought leaders do this. This Lisa Nichols does this. She has sent mails to me a couple of times. All right, even though some of these messages are prepared, they are set. Like you can choose to you can choose to you can choose to schedule such mails, but yet it's helping you to write, and there's a flow to doing it. So you must train to know these things. You must train. Don't get so stingy. Don't hide some of these things. Go for the training. Learn content creation. Learn how to create lead magnet. Learn all of these things. They make you a better person. All right. And already from these 3 days, you're already seeing the kinds of skills you should be focusing on. Don't say, oh, I want to go and learn copywriting because everybody's learning it. Learn copywriting because it's crucial to your purpose. Don't say, oh, I want to go and learn affiliate marketing. I want to go and learn crypto. I want to go and learn that. I want to go and learn forex. Learn things that align to your purpose. All right, that's how you become a better person. And later on, you can even choose to monetize it, make money from it, and you may even choose to invest it also into your purpose. Now, I want you to say wow. Say wow, wow, wow to this because we are going into a very important section. And a lot of people in the purpose space don't get to talk about it. I just wanted to say wow. Now, read this. One to go. A company of sheep led by a lion is greater than a company of lion led by sheep. I got that statement from the book of Miles Moron. A company of sheep led by a lion is greater than a company of lion led by a sheep. Okay, when you study a lion amazingly, a lion is not the biggest, is not the tallest, a lion is not the strongest, a lion is not the fastest, and a lion is not the fiercest. But yet, the lion is called the king of the jungle. Why? Because of the attitude. Because of the attitude, the lion believes that every animal he sees, he can rip it apart and that he can conquer it. Okay? The lion will see how big the elephant is, and yet he believes that he can conquer the elephant. Why? Because of attitude. Now, imagine a company of sheep, and then you see a lion in front of them. You know what happens? Every animal becomes scared. Okay, even if they can conquer the sheep that is following the lion, but because the lion is the leader, because the lion is the leader, what happens? They are scared of them. That's the kind of leader you have to be. Okay, you must be the kind of leader that create inspiration and influence on the people that choose to look up to you. Okay, I don't want to use the word followership. Okay, you must choose the people that look up to you, the people you choose to influence. Why? Because there's an attitude for leadership. There's an attitude for leadership. And there's no way you can lead a purpose movement. You can do so well in your purpose course except there's an attitude. I remember between 2018 and 2020, I had the ability um to convey 10 different purpose hangouts. I was in 9 of them. I was not able to attend one of them. I only sent my session to them. That was the one that held at Port Harcourt. What happened? I wasn't for many of those events, I was not the one who conveyed them. Like about maybe I conveyed only four, like I coordinated only four out of the entire 10. For the other six, there were people who have had the ability to be influenced by me who coordinated them. Okay. And for some of them, I just suggested the speakers and then I attended and went there. Okay, I attended and went there. But people did not get to know that even though they called me the convener, I was not the sole person who coordinated many of those events. Why? Because of influence. So you must understand that leadership is critical when your purpose move must go very far. When it must go very far. Okay, maybe I didn't say at the beginning of the profile that I'm the convener of Purpose Hangout event that has happened in different cities. God helping, we've been in Abeokuta, we've been in Lagos, we've been in Ondo State, or we've been at Ado Ekiti. Yeah, we've been at Ado Ekiti in Ekiti State. It has happened in Port Harcourt, it has happened in Ibadan, Polytechnic of Ibadan, it has happened in FUNAB, that's Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta. Amazing, just amazing things. Why? Because of influence. So you need a level of leadership competence. That's why as a person who want to live purpose, you can't do without reading leadership books. All right. Get a lot of leadership books, Becoming a Leader by Miles Morone, 360-Degree Leader by John C. Maxwell, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, John C. Maxwell, leadership books, Leadership by John C. Maxwell. Amazing. A lot of leadership books everywhere. Get leadership books, read them. All right, they will so change your life. Get leadership books by I remember this book now. I can't remember the title right now. It's a book that has to do, is it Take the Lead by Sam Adeyemi. Amazing book. There are books on leadership. So those are kinds of books to read. So you don't just read any kinds of book because your purpose will take a lot of diligence from you. It takes a lot of discipline. So you can't be in the fun field of entertainment and you want to lead a move. All right, you can't be in the fun field of trying to seek frivolity and then you want to lead, you want to inspire. No, it will require a lot of discipline from you. So you should choose to be a lion. A company of sheep led by a lion is greater than a company of lion led by a sheep. Okay. Now I want you to look at this picture. Type in the comment section. What are the names of some of the people you can see here? Just type their names. Type the names of some of the people you can see here. Let me see in the comment section. Let me see in the comment section. Type the names of some of the people you can see here. Interesting. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Good. So what are some of the names of the people you can see here? Okay, so you can see Mahatma Gandhi. All right, the code there: live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. Mahatma Gandhi. You can hear of the amazing work and the amazing movement he led in India. You can see Mother Teresa. All right, you can see Mother Teresa. All right, many of these people are not there. So you might see one or two, two or three of them, maybe two that are political leaders. But all of these people are leaders, leaders by practice, not leaders by position. So we are talking about leading to impact. So you can see them. You can see Jo- John D. Rockefeller. You can see him there. D. Rockefeller. You can see um, Nelson Mandela. Yeah, amazing leaders. Okonjo-Iweala. That's as of 2022. She's the Director General of the World Trade Center. All right. Barack Obama, amazing leader. Tony Elumelu, amazing leader. All right, Elumelu is the founder, the chairman of Tony Elumelu Foundation. Yeah, helping entrepreneurs. Ibukun Awosika is leading amazing work in the leadership space, inspiring young people towards leadership, young people towards governance, young people towards right lifestyle and the right culture. John C. Maxwell, an expert in leadership. He has uh, he has the John C. Maxwell Academy, yeah, where people get certified to become certified coaches, leadership experts. And I know of people who have gone for his training, amazing leaders. All right, you know them because they are amazing leaders. The question that I need to ask you right now is, when your picture is shown, what would people say about you? So we talk about all of these people. What will people say about you? When we search out your picture, we search out your name on Google, what will be said about you? Okay. Now, how do you lead for impact? Number one, influence, not power. You must be willing to influence people around you and be willing to create influence on people daily in the area of your purpose. All right. Never enforce power on people. If you look at all of these people, they do not enforce their power on people. What do they do? They influence them. Influence, not power. Number two, collaboration. You must be willing to foster collaboration amidst your team. When a team is working with you, make sure you foster the system and the culture of collaboration. Number three, you need creativity. Why? Because currently we are in a generation, we call them the Gen Z generation. They are moved by creativity. They are moved, they are overwhelmed by creativity, and you can't choose not to be creative if you really want to inspire the Gen Z generation. All right. So creativity. So you must work on your creativity. There are courses online that you can take on building your creativity. Number three, you can focus on what is right. Don't just focus on who is right, focus on what is right. All right. You must always bring your team towards the vision. The vision is the right thing. The vision is the core. The vision is the center. All right. You bring them back to the vision. Bring them back to the vision. So you focus on the right thing. Never allow disparity take your focus away from the core purpose that you want to accomplish. Okay. Number five is to promote progress. You must promote the progress of everyone in your team, and everyone who come close to you. You must promote their progress. You must promote their progress. Promote their progress. Promote their progress. Promote their progress. And you're doing what? You're raising leaders. You make up your mind to raise leaders. Make up your mind to raise leaders. Okay? Don't just try to get followers. Raise leaders. Raise leaders. That's what real leaders do. They raise leaders. They raise leaders. They raise leaders. You must be willing to raise leaders. Okay? You inspire leadership into everyone and enable them to begin to take responsibility. Okay? Did you get value? Let me see. Let me see you type value. Type value, 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 value. So we talked about those who spoke to impact, books that have been written to impact, and leaders who have chosen to impact their world. Okay? Value, 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 value. Wow, 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 wow. Okay. So can you type in the comment section if you were to pay for this 3 days challenge course, 3 days purpose challenge course, how much do you think is worth from what you have learned in these 3 days? How much? How much? Let me see. How much? How much do you think this is worth? How much? How much? How much do you think this is worth? Don't hide it. Say it. How much do you think this is worth? Be sincere, be sincere, be sincere. How much? How much? How much? How much do you think this is worth? Okay, how much do you think this is worth? How much? Amazing. Okay, so thank you so much. That's it for the very question. If you have questions for me, can you do well to drop them in the comment section, or you can feel free also to reach out to me via DM on WhatsApp. I will drop that in the description section so you can ask your questions. I'm looking forward to them. And then your comments on how you've gotten so much value. You can drop your comment on the YouTube channel. I'll be so delighted to see them. I'll be so delighted to read them. Okay. And these are some of the books I've written. 30 Lessons Life Talking Before 30. It's basically 30 of the lessons I learned on my journey into becoming 30. Part of the mistakes I made, things I wish I knew earlier, some of the myths on the journey to 30, and some of the miracles that happened on my journey to 30. Like, you'll be so blown away. If you are not yet 30 yet, if you are under 30, this will so change your life. And it will help you to make right decisions, take the right steps, and begin to do the right things on your life journey. Okay, so 30 lessons life taught me before 30. I've sold. In fact, I don't think there's any available copy for the hard copy anymore. I need to go for another reprint, but the ebook is available. You can check up the link in the description section and just get to my seller platform. You can get the book, order it, and get it directly. And beyond speaking, mastering the communication secret for growing income and influence in a noisy world. Beyond speaking, it's also available. You can go to the description section and just use the link that says getting other books. Okay, then it will direct you to my WhatsApp platform, and I will tell you how much it costs, understanding your identity, how to overcome identity destruction and know yourself and be proud about the person that you are, understanding your identity. You can see the how to overcome procrastination and achieve all your goals. Like this book, feedback of this book is like overwhelming, so overwhelming, terrific feedback. People were like, wow, I never saw that. Like, thank you. Like, people are taking decisions on their lives. You can also see there becoming a profitable author. It has the book and also the workbook, so you can get the two together. You can also do well. Just reach out, and I will tell you how to get a copy. Purpose Clarity Blueprint. I'm giving that out for free. Startup idea checklist. I'm giving that for free also. When you reach out, I can make that available for you. Digital money secrets. How to multiply the money you make from your digital product. Maybe you start writing books. You're doing a course. How do you manage your money? Okay, I wrote that in collaboration with a friend, Uchechi Emmanuel, and it's an amazing book. We talked about investment, savings, and diverse things that can help you accomplish this. And there are so many books I've written, so many books I've written that I can't even begin to recount here. And I've written book for core members, how to make productive impact in your NYC. Yeah, I've written When Life Makes Sense, the principle of knowing how to be fulfilled. I've written Why to Wealth, how you can make money from your purpose and how you can turn your potential into a money-making venture. A lot of those books. So just do well to reach out, check the link in the section. If there is any of this you didn't find there, use the other link and I will tell you how to get them. And they are very cheap, ridiculously cheap. Some of them are as low as $5. Some of them, yes. Some of them are as low as $5, and you can get that $5 in dollar and about 1,500, 2,000 in naira. Okay, so do well to reach out and get any of this book, and I know they will definitely bless your life. So you can use the link in the description section to know how to get any of this book. Thank you so much. Please do well to subscribe and please subscribe. Please subscribe. Subscribe to this channel. I will be so appreciative of this if you subscribe so you can have the privilege to see many of my other videos coming up. You can also be blessed by many other valuable resources available on this channel. Thank you so much for joining. I'm so grateful. And please also encourage your friends. Share the link to the Telegram channel everywhere. Blast it to your WhatsApp status. Blast it on Facebook. Share your experiences on Facebook and tag me. You can also share your experiences on your Instagram story. Tag me also. Share it on Instagram. Tag me on Instagram. On Instagram, my handle is I am Abiodun Mustapha. On LinkedIn, just search for Abiodun Mustapha. You'd have seen my picture there. On Facebook, it is my page is I am Abiodun Mustapha, but my profile is official Abiodun Mustapha. On YouTube, it's Abiodun Mustapha. On Twitter, it's Abiodun underscore Mustapha. Okay, on the Abiodun underscore Mustapha. But if you start search Abiodun Mustapha, you should see it there. And yeah, that's it for it. Do well to follow, connect, reach out, and share your testimonials on all platforms. Share your testimonial on the comment section. Share with me directly on WhatsApp. Okay, you can reach out to me directly on WhatsApp. You will see the link in the description section of this video. Please subscribe, turn on the notifications channel, like, and also comment. Thank you and see you some other time. Until I come your way again, make sure you win unapologetically and you keep wowing your wow.